Sagittarius, welcome to your January 2025 message of the month. And if you guys are interested in meeting your spirit guide or mastering the law of attraction, I put together a free meditation so you can meet your spirit guide and a free mini course to teach you all 5 steps of law of attraction. Without further ado, Sagittarius, it looks like your theme, wow, how interesting. Your theme for the month is how do you protect your life path, your life purpose? How do you protect that? Its integrity, its authenticity, keeping your focus and your work on it, while also maintaining happy, harmonious relationships. Because right now it's almost as if like on your day-to-day, it's like there's a little bit of shaming for like, how could you choose work over family? So you're just kind of like stuck in this spot of being the loving, caring, doting parent or partner that you are, while also maintaining the integrity of like how much I want to work on my business. Okay, and I'm asking for clarity on the little bit of shaming that's going on there. It's almost as if the other person has this like extreme clarity of like, if they would just spend more time with us, everything would be better. The kids would be better behaved. They'd get more time with like their dad, so they'd be better behaved, and it'd get them off my back, so I'd be happier. And like what he needs is a break from his work so that he could then have his epiphany. There's an element of truth to that. Sometimes you need to like get off work to have your epiphany. That's when you're like spinning your wheels and nothing's working though. Sometimes you just need to take a break from the topic, you know? But if you're like crushing it and killing it, then that's like the time to go full throttle, you know? And there is a little bit of like an element of truth to the person that you do need a little bit of more of a break from work because you would get more work done. But there's also like the other person does legitimately need a little bit more time, attention, connection from you for the relationship to be at its like thrive. And like, so do you. You need it too. The thing is like the amount that the relationship as a whole needs for both of you to be satisfied is like this much. They think it's this much, but it's really this much. So there's a little bit of, it would be worth an investment of your time if you viewed it as like reconnaissance, as like scoping out, as like, okay, I do like, if I were to free up 2 more hours per week, what would that look like in our relationship? If I did 4, if I did 6, actually, wow, when I do 6, when I work, I actually get more done. She's happier. And, you know, the other person's like, no, we need 20 more hours a week. You need to do this on Monday, this on Tuesday, this on Wednesday. But like if you just kind of do like a little bit more like, all right, babe, I hear you. We do need to connect more. I think you're right. If you free up like just a little bit of time the next week, I know it's not fully what you want, but this is what I can do next week. And, you know, I promise the week after that, like each week, I'm going to keep finding more and more time I could craft. And if you would just do it little bit by little bit, like you will find that sweet spot where you're like, haha, it didn't take 20 hours. You just needed 4, you know? So that's kind of the advice. It would prevent a lot of disappointment if you'd be willing to do that. It looks like in your recent past, or wait, do you got any more advice for his like life path protecting it? Oh, well, the reason why it feels like a little struggle for right now is because it is your karma in this lifetime. Life purpose is the stuff that you've already learned in previous lifetimes. So this time around, you like know it in and out. It's just like you read a book and you're like, oh yeah, I already know this stuff. The karma is what your soul came down on this life lesson to learn this time around. So that's why it can feel a little bit more struggleful. And it looks like you haven't yet fully balanced like a fully thriving either business or career with a romantic love relationship. You've done the romantic love relationship thoroughly in a previous life. You've done the business or like good money. You haven't done the full thrive, and you haven't done them both at the same time. So you got like 2 kind of bigger karma lessons: how to get a business that's like exponential 1%, you know? And how do you have both at the same time? So that's why it feels a little struggleful. And in that case, like if you are in your business or in the flow, keep working. If you hit struggle and you're like, God, I can't think of any ideas, that's when like your partner's right and you need to spend a little more time with, get a hug from the kids, play with them. Because once you relax and you get in alignment, that's when you're like, oh my God, I forgot to check the box when I hit create. Let me go redo it. You know, like that's when you get those ideas. Okay, in the recent past, you've had like a complete rebirth, like a complete, it's the Phoenix card. So you just had like a complete rebirth, a whole, give us some more on that, Spirit. What the heck does that mean? Wow, what? Wow. This is actually a big month for you, Sagittarius. You're getting a lot of major arcana cards. Um, and like some of the rebirth is like love shouldn't feel like a sacrifice. And it's almost as if you're aware of like, they're not asking me to sacrifice my business. They just want to make sure that our relationship is good and solid so that when we're 50, 60, 70, 80, we both love each other. It's not one person had to bide their time for 20 years and they built up years of resentment, you know. Like you're like, oh, they just want to make sure that we're good and we're really happy in like 20, 30 years from now. And you're like, love shouldn't feel like sacrifice. Okay, but what else on that? Like, okay, it's almost as if you had the rebirth, the epiphany for, oh my God, here's what I need to do to get my business to full throttle, full success. And so you're like, let's go, you know? But your partner's like, hold on, like you can't leave me alone with like 3 kids under 3. I don't want to resent you when I'm 80. So you are recognizing like, oh my God, I see what I need to do to get my business to that 1% level. And it's also like, oh, I see that my partner just like, I see that what they're saying is good. And it looks like right now, or in the recent past, there was like I can't go full throttle on this and get this to where it needs to be. It needs a lot of time, it needs a lot of energy. You're like stuck between that spot, man. Okay, well, let's go into the now energy and then the future energy. Right now, you got the Peacemaker card, so it's kind of like, yeah, you just want to make peace with your honey bunny because you don't want them to feel disappointed. You don't want them to feel left out. You don't want them to feel like second. And so I'm gonna guess. What about the business? Yeah, it's like you're really learning like, okay, I've got all this like energy ready to erupt in my business and my money making thing. Okay, I'm gonna recognize that I need to treat it a little bit more like a marathon versus a sprint. And so you're gonna have all this energy towards like getting your business and your money right. But you are kind of like, no, I need to make peace with my honey bunny because you don't want to like you don't want to feel disappointed. You don't want to disappoint them, and you don't want to like look back in 2 years from now and like, oh well, I have all the money, but I don't have my honey bunny. So you definitely don't want that experience. And it like you guys are going to get to the 2 of lotuses, which is I mean, look, it's 2 people on a canoe being cutesy. Um, so it's going to be worth your effort. Into the future, your future energy, near future, you got the unknown card. So it's kind of like embracing that, like this journey that you're going on with your business. It is entering the unknown, you know, and you guys know how this works. If you've been a budding entrepreneur, it like the more money you make is because of the relationships that you have, which is the better interpersonal skills. And you aren't fully aware that there's like another level of that growth. You kind of thought it was just, oh, I just need the systems and the policies and the procedures in place. I thought it was just like a new software upgrade or like, you know, the big Microsoft one instead of the underdog startup company I was using for software. But it's actually like a little bit more of, it kind of looks like your interpersonal lesson is how do you have that closeness that authenticity, that vulnerability, that trust without needing to be in constant communication with them. Because it's like a lot of your growth in the beginning was how to have the better relationship so you can get the higher paying clients, which is essentially sales is intimacy, sales is love, right? And then but then how do you get that business partner who can take your business to the next level? That requires a lot of communication. That requires you being in close contact, But it kind of looks like this next level of yours, it's almost as if it's gonna feel like a trust fall to you. You're like, I'll just hand you. It's gonna feel like a trust fall, is what I can say. And you may not talk to them every day, every week, even every month. I don't know what it's gonna look like for you. But it's when you guys come back together, you're going to be able to quickly catch up on each other's personal life. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I knew it was your wife's birthday. Here, what you mentioned, she liked chocolate. I went to Africa. Here's the present for her. So, and it's because that person, you only see them every 3 months, 6 months. His wife might develop a chocolate allergy in that time. Old you would freak out. New you would be, bummer. I wish I knew that. And the new person's already gone through the growth to no, I get it. We're both just busy people. We don't have the time to stay in that kind of contact. It's going to be hey, thank you for this kind gesture. And you'll find out about the chocolate allergy through the grapevine. And you're like, why didn't you tell me? He's going to be like, oh, no, because I knew it was such a kind gesture. Chocolate was her favorite. That was so sweet of you. And so it's going to be this new level of wow, this is what unconditional love feels like. That's interesting, Sagittarius. It does look like there's going to be a lot of enjoyment. There's going to be a lot of those moments where you're like, oh, this is what it's like to receive unconditional love, of people not holding you to unrealistic standards. I had no way of knowing the chocolate. And you might be, well, that's so kind and loving, but come on, what's your guys' favorite restaurant? Let me buy you guys a meal. That's so sweet of you. And I'm like, no, really, it's okay. And you're like, come on, I see you guys twice a year. I want to add to your life. And the person will be like, okay. So it's just that next level of interpersonal growth is trusting that you can have a deep, close relationship with someone as if they were your business partner that you have good communication with every day. But you don't actually have to have communication with them every day. It's that ultimate, I'm not micromanaging you, but I know you're going to be working towards the same goal as me. And it's really going to help you kind of loosen up and just trust the universe a little bit more. When this person comes through and does good stuff for you in the business, it's going to be okay, everything is always working out for me. And it is going to be something that helps you. Okay, the universe is conspiring to line me to the right people, the right clients, the right places, the right things. I can let go a little bit, and I can, when I'm with my family now, I can relax a little bit more and be fully present instead of, yes, I'm watching my daughter, but my ear is also tuned to, did I get the text from my business partner? You're going to be he's got it. He can handle stuff without me. So this is some good growth for you, Sagittarius. It looks like your personal power, this personal power this month for you is really embracing that the love of a soulmate can be a huge energizing source for you. So let's say you did that stereotypical traditional marriage, older man, younger female. Younger female is uneducated and just taking care of the family, but you're educated, You can talk about all kinds of topics that she doesn't even know anything about, type of thing. It's really recognizing that, wow, though, having that unconditional love, it's your birthday, I made you a cake, it's your birthday, I made you your favorite meal. You're going to really have this moment where you go oh my God, I couldn't have done it without that love. One analogy someone told me one time was that being in a partnership is like a kite. A kite on its own is cool, it can survive, it can live, but when you're in a relationship, it's like someone picking up the string, and now the kite can go achieve new things and get a new perspective and enjoy life in a whole new way. So you're really going to be wow, even though it was all me, they didn't help me with the financials, with the pitch decks, with the slides. They didn't even, do the accounting for my business. You're going to be I could not have done this without this love. This is good. Okay, in terms of outside influences, well, Your honey bunny just wants you to go through the growth of recognizing the value of love, and that sometimes you get your business ideas when you relax, when you're cuddling the kids, or when you're just playfully twirling your honey bunny on a date. It's gonna be like, oh, I forgot to check the box. See, I told you if we hung out more, you'd get your business idea. You're welcome. Type of energy. So they're just like, come on, do it. And I think that's probably why you're have a little resistance to it. Because, whenever someone is like, take the plate to the kitchen, take the plate to the kitchen, but like you were already going to do it, everyone gets a little, I was already going to do that. Well, now I'm not going to do it, Whether or not you're emotionally mature and can not have that initial reaction or not, it's a different story. But they're just really like, come on, walk over the bridge, do it already. In terms of your hopes or fears for this month, well, I mean, your fear is if you spend more time with your family, you're not going to be nurturing the business enough. And you're like, oh, I've got my epiphany. I know what it's going to take to get it there. So you're just like, you just have that fear in there. The outcome for the month, well, I wish I could say it was going to be all roses and unicorns and rainbows for you. The outcome of this month is you're not going to have it fully settled on the balance between work and love. You're going to see the value of love for sure. You're going to start to learn the lesson of those better interpersonal skills for the business relationships. But it's still going to, you're just not going to fully learn the lesson this month, which, I mean, that's something that takes time. It makes sense. There is going to be a pickup of speed of your life. It looks like there is going to be, when there's a pickup of good activity in your business, it looks like there might also be a little pickup of anxiety in your relationship too. So it's just kind of like, it's like getting your boat in the river, right? Sometimes you're just strolling along, and then when there gets more water and it's faster, the rapids are moving faster, the boat starts to move faster. So kind of like everyone kind of like clings onto the side and go, okay, what's going on? But then you're like, oh, okay, we're just moving faster. The boat's still going to stay. You're going to have that moment where you're like, okay, this is a lot of action. This is a lot going on. So your life is just going to like have a big uptick in action in your business, which when that upticks, it's just going to bring a little bit of anxiety, which makes sense, right? The other person's point of view, oh no, they're working more, they're getting more clients. Does that mean they're going to take away from us? Honey, do you still love us? Anxiety for you of like, oh my God, come on, I just need like 2 or 3 months to push through this. So it's understandable. So just take some deep breaths. Make sure to do your 15-minute mental clarity meditation every day. And throughout the day, if anxiety picks up, just set a timer for 2 minutes and do really deep breaths and go, I'm okay. Their anxiety is normal. I understand why they feel that way. My anxiety is normal. I understand why I feel this way. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this video helped you. Again, if you want a live free mini reading, come hang out with me Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. I High Vibe Mornings with free mini reads. If you want to meet your spirit guide or master the law of attraction, I put some free gifts up there. If you would like a personal reading with me channeling spirit for you, or a mediumship if you'd like to speak to a crossed over loved one, I will put a link for the personal reading in the comments. But lots of love. See you guys around.